Hey folks, welcome back to the ChittMont Life. This is Chitranjan here, and today I'm gonna read Garud Puran for you all. And the reason why I'm doing this is because on July 10th I lost my paternal grandfather, and on September 2nd I lost my maternal grandfather too. And considering this modern society that we live in today, I noticed that not a lot of people are interested in reading our ancient texts, especially when they are related to the Almighty. I've started with Garuda Puran because one of the post-mortem rituals after someone's demise is to read Garud Puran, and I noticed that not everyone was very keen on reading this book. So I thought, uh, why not give it a try? I mean, why not? Why should I not read it? And I read a couple of pages of this book and I found it interesting. So I thought, why not make a video out of it? Because I genuinely want to help people who do not understand the importance of Garud Puran. It is a text which is directly spoken by Lord Vishnu to his vehicle Garud. And for those of you who do not understand who Garud is and who Lord Vishnu is one of the prominent gods in Hindu mythology, and Garud is his vehicle. It is a bird. Garud is a bird basically. When Garud asked Lord Vishnu about what is the righteous conduct in life, what happens after death, what are the post-mortem ceremonies, Lord Vishnu answered everything to Garud, and everything, the essence of everything is captured in this book. The intent of this video is to share the knowledge captured in this book with you all, and I would try to be transparent with you, which means there will be a lot of words or phrases, some English words, some Sanskrit words, some Hindi words that I won't understand in one go. So for all of them, I'll refer Google, and both you, that is my viewers, and I will learn simultaneously. So with that said, let's get started. So let me put Lord Vishnu's image here. So let's first start with the contents of the Garud Puran. So the first thing is introduction to the Garud Puran, and for today's video I'm only going to cover introduction, and then as we go along in my subsequent videos I'll cover all the chapters that are listed here. So to read out the contents, the first thing is introduction to the Garud Puran, and chapter number 1 is departure of the soul from the body. Number 2 is the Vaitarani river, where it is pronounced at Vaitarani. So chapter number 2 is about the Vaitarani river. Chapter number 3 talks about the tortures suffered. Chapter 4, the sins. Chapter 5, the righteous norms of living. Chapter 6, the consequences of sins. Number 7, the ghosts. Number 8, the righteous conduct. Number 9, the Dashgatra and other ceremonies. I do not know the meaning of Dashgatra, so let's find it out quickly. So I'll Google out for Dashgatra. Dashgatra. Dashgatra in Hindi. Check it out. So this means शरीर के मुख्य 10 अंग. Okay. So Dashgatra means the 10 prominent parts of the body. And let me get back to Google. Yeah. So chapter number 9 deals with the Dashgatra and other ceremonies. Let me put back the image of Lord Vishnu here. And chapter number 10 is the Ekadash and the Sutak. I do not know what Sutak is, so we'll check that out as well. So Sutak is, I'm not sure. What is the meaning? What is Sutak? Sutak describes a state, temporary or continuous, of being where ritual purification is not possible. So maybe Sutak just means a period wherein some ritualistic purification or some rituals are prohibited. Alright, so let's get back to the book. And yeah, so coming back to chapter number 11. It is the Sampidan ceremony. I am not sure what is Sampidan, so let's check that out as well. Sampidan. Okay, so Sampidan means dabana or nichodna, which means to squeeze. So what does this mean? Sampidan ceremony, I cannot make 100% meaning from the heading as of now. So the squeezing ceremony or the pushing ceremony, something like that. Chapter number 12 is the realm of Yama. Chapter 13 is the rebirth procedure. Chapter 14 is the ways to salvation. Chapter number 15 deals with the diseases and their root causes. Chapter number 16 talks about secrets of pure devotion. Chapter number 17 tells us about, okay, so it is an interlude, the allied details and stories. Alright, so for the folks who do not understand the meaning of the word interlude, it is an interval sort of thing. Interlude can be considered as an interval, yeah. So moving forward, just a second folks. Yeah, so chapter number 18 is ancestors and their Shraddh. Chapter number 19 is Epilogue, and chapter number 20 is 1000 Names of Lord Vishnu. Epilogue, I think, means a dialogue that is delivered at the end of a play, usually in theaters, but let us just check that out for being 100% sure. Yeah, so epilogue means a section or speech at the end of a book or play that serves as a comment on or a conclusion to what has happened. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before in this video, but I'm doing this video and I'm reading this in English so that some of the folks who are not from India or who do not understand Hindi, maybe some of the people in the US or in Western countries or in any other country of the world, they should also understand this divine knowledge. And while I was reading a couple of pages before, I noticed that there were a few mistakes in this book as well. So wherever there would be a mistake, it would be, a common sense to correct that. So with that said, let's get started with the introduction. So the introduction to the Garud Puran. Alright, the Garud Puran has come to the so thickly linked with the post-mortem ceremonies among the Hindus that it has perhaps never been studied as a Puran deserving a separate study. The traditional Hindus must have heard it only in the hours of some personal grief or sorrow. Its association with the post-mortem rituals has been so strong that the general belief is that he who reads it in his normal happy times might suffer some personal sorrow. The traditional and obscurant priestly class has deliberately woven a taboo around it, perhaps for the reason of its individual benefit. In the absence of it getting a chance of being read independently, the priests are likely to say the last words about it. And they have succeeded to a great extent in having this rare Quran projected as some jinxed to me, to be touched and interpreted only by those greedy priests. Thanks to the inquisitive minds of the NRI's younger generation, which started questioning the relevance of these rituals, which apparently looked absurd to them since they didn't know the rationale behind them. This work tries to explain the relevance and provides a fillip to the apparent illogicality. What is the meaning of fillip? Okay, something that acts as a stimulus or boost to an activity. Archaic, a movement made by bending the last joint of a finger against the thumb and suddenly releasing it. A flick of the finger. Okay, alright, so this is a fillip. Alright, so the illogicality gets removed in a sense. Most of the times it is asked as to why such horrendous details have been given which appear downright reprehensible. Why this vivid description of the hells and why this elaboration on the punishments for different crimes? But when people raise such questions, they forget one basic fact of human psychology. The whole idea behind this lucid, detailed description is to raise the fear against committing a wrong and unrighteous act. The recitation of this Quran after a person's death in the traditional Hindu household is recommended only for instilling this fear in the hearts of the listeners so that even if they are on the wrong track, they may still mend their ways. It is the negative way of leading the persons to the righteous track. Furthermore, the details of the hells and punishment don't appear to be entirely without a sense of logic. If one usurps one's share in money, in the next birth he is likely to be a pauper himself. This is, in fact, what is called the poetic justice. So, even if one may not believe in the certitude of consequences of a wrong action, the logic inherent in these descriptions may convince the people of treading only the recommended path. In fact, this is the basic thought behind all these Purans, although the word Puran originally means ancient or old narrative, long before the beginning of the Christian era. It is designated a class of book dealing amongst other matters with old world stories and legends of India. The purpose of compiling these into a form of the tomes was, I do not know what is the meaning of tomes, a book, especially a large, heavy, scholarly one.
Tome.
Tome. So the pronunciation is tome. Alright. So where were we? Yeah. The purpose of compiling these into the form of the tomes was to make the ancient thinking process, its norms of righteous conduct, etc., available in the subsequent generation, so that the past experiences and present observations, the ethos of the people of a particular region could be developed. Through the narration of various anecdotes and legends, is repeatedly hammered through the narration of various anecdotes and legends. I think this and should not be here. Alright, so I think if I ignore this and, through the narration of various anecdotes, legends are repeatedly hammered on people's psyche as to what is good and what is bad. The stories, epilogues, and the parables in the Puranic texts were put together, but not for the purpose of furnishing a chronologically accurate history. It should be borne in mind that these were composed to furnish the living examples and models of virtues. Though each Puran exalts a particular deity, it must be noted that Catholicity and uniformity of the Hindus' approach to the supreme reality is affirmed at every turn. Catholicity, I do not know the meaning of Catholicity, so it is of Roman Catholic faith, offer including all Christians. Right, so the Roman Catholic faith, the Christianity, and sort of religious beliefs. All right. One word about why Lord Vishnu chose to reveal these details of the post-mortem rituals or ceremonies to Garud, his mount, who was and is not likely to face them, as this great bird is also said to be immortal. Perhaps Lord Vishnu chose Garud because the latter has access to every realm, whether it was a hell or heaven, the sublime Vaikuntha Lok or the dreadful Patal Lok. Since Garud is the source of this Puran, it is generally believed that he might have as well checked all these details himself. So this B should be he. Before passing them on to the sages from whom Ved Vyas received them and compiled them in the form of the books. This way it bears a sort of authenticity from the competent authorities. Alright, fair enough. Secondly, in that description of the negative human aspects, one can also gauge the extent of human depravity. One may be amazed to learn that though this Puran was compiled millennia ago, it contains every conceivable crime that human beings could commit, right from the lowliest incest to even sodomy. All told, even though the apparent grab of the myths may look absurd and ludicrous, the essence lying with it is quite enlightening and educative. Since this Puran deals more in don'ts and by inference on do's, it forms the moral code for developing the penal system for all classes of people. It reveals the logic of the moral working at the back of this ancient culture. Of course, there may have been many interpretations, but they reveal in the final analysis the importance attached to these Purans, which reveal what we have been and what we aspire to be. Alright, so now comes chapter number 1, Departure of the Soul from the Body. And I think folks, for today this much is enough. I'll be covering each chapter one by one as and when I get time. But I'll try to post at least one video during the weekends, and if I'm able to meet my daily targets, if there is some spare time available with me during weekdays, I might put a video during the weekdays as well. So that's all I had for today. We will continue chapter 1, departure of the soul from the body, in my next video. So see you soon, guys. Bye bye and take care.